I'm Brian Waldridge. I'm the Kentucky Equine Research veterinarian. So part of what we're doing here at Kentucky Equine Research is hosting an Australian endurance team. We've also obtained lab work on the horses periodically to check their muscle enzymes, because these are endurance athletes, so we want to make sure that they're any signs of muscle disease we stay ahead of, and try to make sure we keep their muscles as close to normal as we can, despite the heavy amount of work that these horses are expected to do. This is a big worry of horses transported, whether it's by air or by land for prolonged distances, is respiratory disease, because they're in a confined space. A lot of times their head is tied, so they can't clear their throat, so they have some debris that'll build up in their airways, which can predispose them to get pneumonia. So a huge worry in any transported horse is going to be respiratory disease, and then the dehydration. Again, these horses that have been transported, they may be stressed and not drink, come to new environments, and again, just due to stress and trying to settle in more or less, as horses may not drink like they should, and so if they get dehydrated, they're at risk for colic, and may end up to need IV fluids and things like that, just to try and perk the horses up to get them to eat if they're off feed. So what we want to do is make sure we keep these horses on feed, keep them hydrated, so we're providing feed for the horses, and we're also monitoring the horses' health every day. Just come by and make sure that they continue to eat, make sure their temperatures are okay, and pass normal manure, which because we worry about these horses, the stress of transport, and also we're just going to keep a watch for any illnesses that may occur. Horses have done really well. You know, they straight off the van went to the water buckets and started to graze. I think they've settled in tremendously well, especially for the transport that these horses have had to go from Australia to California and then California to Kentucky, and to be in quarantine. You know, I think they really haven't missed a beat since they've arrived here.
My name is Matthew Sample. I'm part of the Australian endurance team, here representing Australia at the endurance event. My preparation for this race has been intense, with a horse called Saladin, who won the national titles last year in Australia. We've been preparing for this event for the last 4 years. We were very fortunate to have the opportunity to train on the Kinlan track, their main track there. We did an hour warm-up prior to hopping on the track, and then it consisted of an hour solid workout. Basically, we would have completed around 30-odd miles within an hour, and then we had an hour cool down after that, so we're very thankful for the opportunity of being able to train there. His work program, training program here in Kentucky consists of basically 4 days of riding each week, with basically 2.5 hour slow, medium steadies. On his days off, he'll be on the walker, which is about 1 to 1.5 hours, a 45-minute cool up, warm up, walking, and then it'll consist of the balance of time of trotting, and with a cool down of about 15 minutes walking as well. His preparation has involved a number of different aspects of hard work, hill work, slow work, and hard fast work as well. Our main concern with a challenge with horses in this environment is the hydration and their intake of food.
My name's Dennis Golding. I'm team veterinarian for Australia. I'm associated more with the eventing team, but senior veterinarian. We've only recently arrived here on site. We've come from Australia, flying via Hong Kong, Anchorage, back to LA, 3 days quarantine. It's a 36-hour flight from the time the horses get on the truck until they arrive in LA, and straight into stalls. Acclimatisation for Australian horses is not that difficult. I was fortunate to be in Atlanta in '95 and then '96 for the Olympics. '95 was a very difficult year in Atlanta, and we find here that we may well have hot, humid conditions, but nothing like we experienced there. We get these conditions in Australia. We've been coming out of winter, but Sydney climate, where these horses are based and training, it hasn't been that difficult for us. So we're not too concerned about the climate.